the XSplit bar wrong. I hit record instead of broadcast, which is funny. So here we are.
Harbor Town is an all-new series from Miniature Building Authority, the leader in tabletop gaming scenery.
So,
unique,
Stefan
flexible,
told
and
me,
playable. Harbor Town.
His guys, his upper core were, why is Miniature Building Authority running when you're playing? And I said, well, Stefan, you could solve that problem really easy. How's that? Well, you have to figure that one out on your own, Stefan.
Yep.
They're my sponsor.
Exactly. Maybe you sponsor me, and you will have your logo there. So
Yeah, exactly. It was funny.
Give you some thousands of pieces of more fortune, and you're good. Yep.
Yes.
You will get the logo all over the place. Yep.
Anyone out there want to give me a sound check? Anyone watching?
Yeah, hopefully someone.
Echoes.
Yep, we are streaming into the void today. Yep.
Wow.
I think this kind of is symptomatic of the con was kind of so much for people that
This is anticlimactic now.
Exactly. They need a whole week to catch up on.
Oh
so
man, it could be.
We can see the repercussions of having this very kind of.
We did start a minute early.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, but you see, even virtual cuts are kind of. Yeah. Oh,
There's Big Mac TMMM, and he said over in the Cannon Fire chat, thank you for saying in 1 hour, because other Twitch streamers should do that and give me the, what do you call that? And I said it's the friendly alert or whatever.
Yep. Hi David, thank you so much.
Can you hear us?
It's late over there. Yeah.
I imagine it's late. What's up,
Gaetano? Yay. Hi.
Gaetano, can you hear us loud and clear?
Sound check.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Oh, they're just cheating. Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, that was you.
I cheat all the time.
Yep.
Just to ask everyone.
It's so funny. They can hear us perfectly. They just don't want to say anything.
Yeah,
it's
I
funny
imagine
to listen
so.
to us asking all the time. So yeah.
I'm just checking to make sure that my mic is tool set properly. You guys can hear me, right?
Okay, good.
Good.
Yeah, it's set.
And yeah.
Okay.
And
My audio working?
Yeah, you're clear, Jason.
Hey.
There he is.
Hi, Jason.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, Gaetano said he can hear us perfectly. Thank you. That's good to know.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's my microphone or my USB port that's giving me trouble.
It could be either or both.
Oh, you mean last time when you had issues?
Yeah, he was in the middle of the game with us, and we lost him for like 3 to 5 minutes at a time sometimes.
Yeah, especially at the end, it just went kaput.
Yeah. It's that afternoon kind of thing.
I need a new mic. This thing was just a cheap $3 Amazon mic.
Yeah, you need a mic and a webcam, so that you said.
I'm trying to work out something for the picture, but I don't think the webcam's happening. I'll have to come up with some kind of animation I can run.
Yeah.
Well, for one thing, I have my computer on the floor.
Really?
So
Your
it's a
whole,
much different viewpoint.
Okay.
I take my leg off, and I spend most of my time. I've got my time on the ground or the time standing up.
Yes, you
I
do,
take
your
leg on or-
Meyer. Absolutely.
Yes, I'm here. Oh, Jason, sorry, I cut in.
Well, that's all right. I was just saying, I'm either on the ground with my leg off or I'm standing around with the leg on.
Okay, yeah.
So my viewpoint is I'm lying down looking into the computer.
Okay, yeah.
So that'd be a strange camera angle, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will be one of these cool. That will be an even worse mug shot than Greyhawk. Mike has it with the window background. That's kind of you put on the thing and
You
like,
need to get you some Dungeons and Dragons drapes or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
And mine looks perfect first, and then after a while, when you put on that
No, I'm-
thing, then, yeah.
Actually,
it's
pretty
like-
lazy because if I
Yeah.
just turn my computer
You got
like
your
that,
books.
there's my books.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the problem is that my books are over here, so they're not on camera either.
Yeah.
So
It's just uncomfortable.
yeah, they're over here on my books, and some of them over here too. So I have a bunch of books there too. So they're everywhere except on camera.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool, man. Glad you like that.
That's cool.
Trying to make it as pleasing sounding as possible. I think everyone's still got a VTT GaryCon hangover a little bit, but that's okay. It'll.
Yeah, I think so.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, in his game, gosh, should I say Puppet now, Dad, or should I say Jason now? That's a tough one, man. Welcome. All right, guys. We're gonna have a little bit of a GaryCon roundup here, and then talk the future of Greyhawk. Too. What's next? Yeah, well, you're gonna trust me. You will relive that moment with everyone tonight.
Yeah.
That's one of my 4 clips I have, minute-long clips I've cut out of. So not bad when you think about it. 4 out of 6 streams I did during the Gary time with Greyhawk.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of Greyhawk, Greyhawk celebration. Horror in the Holes was Greyhawk, and to Mataverish by Brian was Greyhawk.
You know, yeah, converted to Greyhawk, so yeah.
Yeah. Right in the Bright Desert. And it's 1 minute before. What's up there, David?
Yay, hi,
Hey.
David.
I'm probably missed stuff that I should have watched. I was so zonked out after Saturday.
Dude, you know how I felt, man. Oh my
I
gosh.
can't imagine how you did it. I thought, you know, everything you were doing, I can't see how you got through that weekend.
I got through it. That's what matters.
Yeah, you
Hey,
did.
Antiquus,
You even had
good to
some-
see you come and see. Look, now we got Antiquus is
Hey.
back from VTT GaryCon weekend when he first watched us. So that's a good sign.
Awesome. Welcome back. Yeah.
He's a
I contacted your friend too. I just talked to him a little bit. I sent him an email.
This is good. Yeah.
Back to the normal schedule. Whew. What a weekend. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Jay, aka Lord Gazumba, and we got our normal, usual suspects. I guess Jason could be considered a usual suspect now, too. He's come on a
he's
lot,
the
which is
usual.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a very
Anymore, yeah,
usual.
yeah.
Yep, very
Anna
useful.
Meyer and
Hey.
Greyhawk Mike Bridges
Howdy.
and Jason. We got to think of a nickname for Jason. Jason the Index Zavoda. How's
Yeah.
that?
I'm just good with my name there.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yep.
So
Jay-Z.
what a great weekend. I know we have a question
Yeah.
mark in there under success because we really want to talk about it
Fine.
and just go over like what happened this last weekend with VTT GaryCon and also some of the things that Anna wants to share a couple extra slides with you, which are going to come down. And then we want to open it up, especially to general discussion with us and the audience on where we Zavodex. I like that, Gitano.
Oh.
I like that. That's good. We want to open it up to discussion on where we go from here at Greyhawk, because we always got to think about moving forward and not backwards and not staying still, right? Standing
Yeah.
still doesn't do us any good. Like I said, Anna's always said, a slight incline up. Not this, straight up, but a slight incline up is where we want to be. Hey, Lloyd Metcalf. Look, Lloyd, you got a nice
Hey.
little diamond next to your name there
Lloyd.
for Lloyd
Ooh.
Metcalf will be my special guest on Gabbin on Sunday. So we're going to talk a lot of old school stuff during that. So how do we keep the momentum? Exactly. And that's what we're going to talk about. But first things, let's everyone go around the table and give me one of your favorite moments from the entire weekend. Jason, since you watch so much.
You know, I loved everything, but just being able to play in that game was my moment. That was I
Awesome.
just had such a great time.
Playing Dex the Misunderstood, a cleric necromancer. So cool, and he used your spectral hands really well too. That's the key to that character.
I had a great time because it's been a long time since I played. I mean, you might not know, but I mean, I haven't played outside of conventions much, and it's been probably 10 years, and that was really outside my comfort zone, and I had to quickly try to pick up those 2E spells that I was unfamiliar with.
Yeah, and you had to do it quickly too, which was because absolutely, and that's the thing with my game. Everyone's rules are a little different, right? So we had to figure out. You had to figure out a couple tricks of the trade, and like bleeding wounds. That's a cool necromancer spell. I think it came out of the Great Knight spellbook in late '90s, early 2000s, and you figured out how to utilize it, which is a cool thing. So yeah, that was a fun time, and we have a really saucy, nice clip during that game coming up too. Excellent, Jason. Excellent. Hey, Anna, how about you?
For me, it was so many awesome stuff, and I must say that the game with Brian was kind of so much fun because the audience was so large. There were so many awesome comments and stuff like that going on, and besides the game itself, so that was awesome. Having my own seminar was something I had a little bit of kind of trepidation or kind of, is it actually going to work? Talk about it, but there were so many questions and the chat was kind of scrolling by like crazy, so I'm afraid I missed something, and there was a few slides that I missed, so I put them in a couple extra slides so we can talk about them.
Anna,
up here. So
I was nervous too because it was my first stream and of dual streaming ever.
Yeah.
Right? It was yours. Yours was first. And I was scared
so there was
shitless.
kind of a
I was like, oh
tech
my
test
God.
too. So there was a lot of tech things, and it was also a little bit of a different production with all the slides and stuff. So that's why we limited to just me and Jay on, and not a lot of others. Otherwise, it would have been more fun to have a lot of others on there as well, so we could have more of a panel discussion. But we had that afterwards with the fandom stuff. That was a long, awesome, cool, a lot of participation from chat, so that was great. And also one of the other highlights for me was with Alyssa Faden and Ankfir Mendel. We actually doodle in Roll20. We made a map during the seminar, and that was completely overboard crazy because we had no idea how it worked. And Roll20 is probably just a bit worse than MS Paint to actually paint on, and then to do it. So it was hilariously fun, so to speak. So that was, and people asked questions and told us. So I did a boy band of a boy band of elves singing next to some pyramids and stuff. That was kind of Strawman. It was fun. That was hilarious fun. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see that there were great. I mean, everyone stepped up. And it was not easy for a lot of people to step out of their comfort level. Dual streaming scared the living daylights out of me.
I never thought that a virtual event could be that exhausting. It was basically in front of a computer 6 hours a day, watching things, beyond things, chatting, zooming, and then the things in between, and the preparations and the setup and the pre things what you were supposed to do, and all the documents and stuff. It was almost as much work as actually going to a convention. So but a lot of fun, definitely.
Excellent.
Very cool.
How about you, Mike?
Well, I didn't do a fraction of what you guys did. Of course, I feel like I only showed up for Friday, popped in and out the other days. I really liked Anna's seminar, the slideshow. That was something I was actually looking forward to seeing live. But sitting here at home watching it, and then also following the chat was in some ways better, because if I was sitting in a room with 40 other people, I wouldn't just be like whispering and talking to people while she's talking, So it was good to have some interaction. Same with the seminar that, the Fandom Renaissance that I was in. At GaryCon, we had 40 or 50 people, if I recall. And then afterwards, we sat out. The only thing I miss is that after that seminar, we would mingle with people outside the con room.
Yep.
And that's sort of what chat replaces, I guess.
Well, look at it this way, and this is that's a great point. But so at most you were going to have 40 in that room, right? 40.
Physically, that's all it would fit.
Right.
Yep.
So here's some numbers. This is not being braggadocious or anything, but so Anna started off, and Anna missed Len Lakofka's record by 2. So Anna had like 145 average. It was crazy. And then Greyhawk had like about 100 average. So that's like 2.5 times what you could have possibly even gotten. And that doesn't even count what was on the other channel on GaryCon 2. That is just
that
what was
probably
on
another 30 or 40 or something.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a really cool
We
thing.
couldn't have got that many people to show up live.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you have to look at after that the streaming seminar smashed Leonard's record. We did a 157.
Yes.
We beat it by 10.
That was an awesome seminar too.
Yeah, and then we did in the like mid to high 70s for the final for those two, and then Stefan's between both almost was was way up there, but it didn't catch the streaming seminar because there was like a ton. There was like 60 people on the main GaryCon channel watching it almost all the time. But yeah, and Casey, it was a good thing to be able to see the panels and see all of the other shows. And I didn't catch much of the other shows because I was busy. But I know, like Jason, you caught Satine's show.
Their first one. She did more than one.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, Satine was doing. It was a little on the basic side for me because I've been doing this for a long time. But what she was doing is she took two DMs, and she was using them to do examples on, creating your story that you're weaving around the situations, and part of it was getting people to show how you kind of settle into it, and part of it's how you kind of build a what they call riffing off the players, where you're picking up from the input that you're getting, and then providing some structure too. So it was very nice. It was a short seminar. I mean, you don't think an hour is short, but once you get 3 people talking, you're chopping things up, and the littlest side things, that hour goes by quick.
Yeah, and that's why one of the things I like about our shows, I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I like 2 hours. I really love the 2-hour show format that we use on Legends, Lore, and Gavin. I think it's perfect.
My seminar too, and we used it on the Greyhawk seminar, and I didn't feel like it was too long, my seminar. I think we could have gone on another hour with all the questions that came. So
Sometimes I feel like, this first hour is taking forever, and then the second hour flies by, and I'm thinking, I'll give you more time.
Yeah,
it takes a while to get going, and once you get going, you have a few questions and make for follow-up questions, and you dive deep into a topic or two, and then all of a sudden it's all gone. Yeah.
So let's start off with some humor here, okay? Hey, good, Gary's on. So here's some humor. We're gonna start off. This is. I'm not saying there wasn't any humor during Anna's, but Anna's, we didn't have any weird things.
No, it was kind of more on the serious side that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna show a clip from what happened during, and we'll go in chronological order of all 4 clips. Hopefully this doesn't smash up everything, but it should be okay. This is what happened at the end. Now, I hit the wrong button during the middle of the Greyhawk, Celebrating Greyhawk stream, and just crashed my entire system. Knowing that that's how, with running dual streams and all the vid and all that stuff, boom. So we had to get on real quick, and I was making some mistakes here and there, and it just came right off the tip of my tongue. Please watch Brian Blumklotz's reaction to what happens. All right, let's watch this. Runs about a minute.
Very serious.
Oh, see, I did it. I hit the wrong one. I hit the wrong one. I hit that stuff, and here we go. Brian Blumklotz's custom heraldry, and if you've seen the heraldry up in the upper left-hand corner, God, it's beautiful, guys. Take advantage of this. This one's huge. Here we go. Next winner. Ashert the Bear. He's from our.
Osher the Bear. Osher the Bear.
I'm sorry, it's late.
Nice.
Osher is a really great guy. Osher is actually Osher the Bear is a member of the Greyhawk Online Discord, and he's one of our more common posters. So congratulations, Osher.
Awesome.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay, Alan.
I look forward to working with you.
So there you go. Yes, I said ass hurt the bear, and you know that's once again the South Jersey accent thing. I get everything wrong all the time. Yeah, so that was one of the top funny ones, but I got some other good ones in here. Definitely, if you trying to share the
no
moments
longer see his name the same way again.
So that was a good one. That show was great. It just, I think we reached a new audience with it. As we can see, Antiquitous and Electromac are both people that are individuals that were on the weekend. That came on the weekend and are now on tonight. So that's great. You know, they're maybe joining the Greyhawk community because that's what we're looking for all this. And the giveaways are great. If anyone knows Parajosh, and let me just spell. I think I pronounced that one properly, but I'm looking for this name, Parajosh. If that is the yeah, Parajosh is the one who did not respond to one of the winnings. So hey, what's up, Tim? So
Hi, Tim.
yeah. We're looking. There's the ever mysterious Tim. We're looking for him to get him his winnings from Alan Allens. He won. Oh, he won the Black Blade lot. So, and that's the one. Everything else has been going out. No, yeah, to Casey. That's tomorrow night, Casey. Reaper Miniatures giveaway on the show tomorrow, on the game tomorrow night. So there you go. So save that drawing thing for tomorrow night. But yeah, so that's one we're missing. But I think we really hit the nail on the head with what we discussed. And I know there's a couple topics we didn't even get to. You know, we kind of had to skip over. Like we had to skip over the whole talk about Saltmarsh, the book Saltmarsh book, and how it interacted with how it relates to what's going on in the Greyhawk community. But at least we did a whole show on that, right?
Yeah.
The three of us did that.
Yeah.
And Will was on that too. William Henry Dvorak was on that show,
Yes.
I believe, as well. So, and that's an earlier Legends of Lore. About 2 months ago, I think we did that one. So, at least we have that reference. So, we'll skip to that one first, since I did the little blip on that. Any highlights of the discussion that really hit home in Greyhawk from that?
Oh,
I thought
so
for
much,
me,
yeah.
it's the bloggers. For me, it's the bloggers' influence.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that out there. And I'm a South Jersey guy, Rob, as you can tell from my awful South Jersey Philly accent I have.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
bloggers. We talked about that and the importance of Mike and Jason and David, who's on, and
Yeah.
Tommy John Kelly and Alan Growy and Malden and all the whole crew that have website.
Yeah.
That was me. So, how about the rest of you?
I mean, for me,
please go on, Jason.
viewer, I'm sorry, Anna.
No, please go on.
As a viewer, I have to say everyone's bringing something to the table here, and I'm very impressed to see the Earth Journal revitalized. I was an editor of it once, and it was so hard to get material. It's just amazing, and to see it in print, that is just a unbelievable thing. And I just think we're living in amazing times here. Mike, you're the reason I got into blogging in 2011, and you doing a cartoon again, even if you're that is just that's the reason for me that brought me to online blogging. And then Anna, with your release with those maps, I don't think people realize how I have all these projects that I want to do, and you're doing those the spread maps that allow themselves for all these things that you've probably seen me post my my hand colored, very badly penciled resource maps and stuff like that. Because this is just amazing what all that's allowing to be done. And of course, your 576 map, that is like an everyday thing for me. Because I try to post every day, so I'm always grabbing something from that.
Yeah.
So here we're going across that that seminar is it's just full of so much landmark stuff happening at the same time. I didn't catch the ones from last year. This one year just seems stupendous.
Yeah, and that I think was one of the benefits of having it virtual, is that we automatically got everything recorded. Meaning now it's not only the 150 or so people that watched it live, there can be hundreds of people watching it down the line and get inspired by it and find new stuff. So that's a huge benefit. Without any extra effort, it's recorded.
No, and that's a great point. So as of this morning on Twitch, this is not YouTube, on my mirror, on Twitch, out of all the streams, the Celebrating Greyhawk had the most views, even more than Stefan Picorni. Now that's not YouTube. A lot of them are going into the YouTube mirror, but yeah, on the Twitch, where it was like up to like almost 80 or something. Yeah, that's a lot for like.
Yeah, because I have so many ask me on Facebook, send me email, ask, oh, would this be on afterwards because I can't make it for one reason or watch it, and I'll simply say yes, it will be there. It will be on Twitch, and then it will be on YouTube. So yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And that's great to have that resource, because I know for the longest time you were all like, where the heck's the video from last year?
Yeah.
And then it ran on GaryCon once, and that was it.
It's often bad quality with microphones, and even if you can hear the panelist, you can't hear the person asking a question because you have to run up there with a microphone, give them. But when you do it online like this, you can follow chat, and you can get all the recordings of stuff in full resolution and with hopefully better sound than you would get from a conference room. So there's a lot of, without any extra effort from running when you run it online, you automatically get it recorded. So it's, or at least not much extra. It's a little bit of extra work for Jay to upload it, but not that bloody as it would be to run it when you run it in the conference room.
Yeah, and one good thing about Twitch, Twitch allows an export to YouTube. I hit one button, as long as it goes, eventually. So I just got to edit it slightly. Yeah, it's my gosh.
That's good.
Definitely. So yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, Jason, I want to cut in. You said that there's so much cool content coming out, and one of the things that I like is that we complement each other. There is overlap, and that is good, but there's also a lot of unique things. Meaning, I do my maps and others do maps, but and that kind of strengthen us, that we do different maps in different styles, and people have different specialities. They take the same topics from different angles, which means that I read what David Leonard is writing, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool, and then I take content that he's written about and realize, oh, that place needs to be on my map, and I put something on the map simply because I read it somewhere, and it's kind of, it adds to one, feeds the other, so to speak. So it lifts everybody, and I certainly be much more inspired, and I can do better work because there's so many awesome bloggers and people out there doing cool stuff. So yeah.
So good second stream. Everyone agrees on that. It was great.
Yeah.
Let's step back. And Hannah, is there anything you want to discuss that we didn't go over on yours? I know we got some slides. We can.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. There was one question that got missed, so to speak, because I missed one slide, and then. Then I added a couple of more slides to kind of emphasize it here. And that is one question I wanted to ask. We in my seminar, we talked about different types of map. Maps can be informational, meaning you think about GPS map in your car. It only has the basics to lead you from A to B and nothing else. Or you can have like an inspirational map. But what about the detail levels in a map? Can a map actually have too much detail? And then I asked myself, because I'm going into this field now when I can have trees and you can have buildings, and you can have all sorts of stuff on the map. Meaning, is there a reason to start going into different bushes and flowers and grass, whatever? Because technically or theoretically, that's possible too. And so what is a good map? How much detail is there? And can you have too much detail? And my kind of when I started reasoning to myself and listening and to others and read blog posts and thought about it, I realized that yes, but the level of detail, the two main questions. One is your style of play, because so it's a bit like theater of the mind, and some people want to have miniatures, they want to have buildings, they want to have tiles, they want to draw maps and put miniatures on it. And some people play D&D theater of the mind. They rarely use miniatures, and it's all about thinking about it and then go by. And if you're the theater of the mind, and that goes with maps too, so if you're a theater of the mind, when it comes to the setting, you don't want detailed maps. If the story is important and you as a DM wants to be able to get a cool story, you want to invent a forest sometimes, and there needs to be a river because now they're fleeing somewhere, they can't swim, and you need a river there. So for some DMs, if you want to tell a cool story, you simply be able to, you should be able to invent the terrain around you as needed, and not have a detailed map with just boring desert and sand dunes and nothing else. Meaning, if there's no oasis when you need one, then you don't want a detailed map. But other games that have more kind of sandboxy style, then they're kind of more dependent on having a super detailed map. So game style is one thing that gives how much detail you want in your maps. And then there's the other key factor. If you as a DM can make your own map, and you can tweak it and add detail and put that little forest there, add a village, a road, a river. If you can do that, then I don't think there's no a thing as too much detail. If you can control it when you run your game, you can have as much detail, the more the merrier, if you can control it without too much hassle. I think those two are the main key things. So, and the slides that gone around here are from the state-of-the-art tool, so to speak. It's Gaia. It's a tool from the company Quad Spinner. It's a company in India run by Dax Pandy. He's a fantastic 3D artist and programmer, and he's been doing 3D tools for like 20 years now. And I've been using his tool for well over a decade. And this is an upcoming tool, and it even has a cartography tool built in, so you can actually create these cool things, whether you have elevation lines, you can create all sorts of stuff, and you can also create photo real. If scroll to one of the other ones, there's one that comes after, if you can. That's another cartography example that just generated all these images, and there you have, that is what it will look like on Greenland, so to speak. That's, or the black ice or something. That is what a glacier looks like when it melts out into the ocean. And that was a test that was done to see if you could create a cracked ice and a glacier on top of a mountain. And if you look at that detail, meaning this is photoreal, this is like a feet per pixel on that one. And then go to, there's another one in there, so we can go to, this one. This is just a piece of regular mountains, like the Alps or the Rockies or the Yatills or Crystal Mist or something like that, especially like the Yatills around Vesvi or something. And there is trees on there. Those trees are not really virtual trees or model trees. They're just spikes in the terrain that looks like trees, or bumps in the terrain. And which means that since it's just bumps colored, and bumps and spikes for conifer trees and needle trees, and bumps for leafy trees, if you see them from a distance like this, they look absolutely photoreal. And the cool thing is, you can have as many as you like. You can have millions, billions of trees this way, and you can actually recreate the whole Vesfi over a huge area. So detail now on maps are, sky is the limit. You can actually do maps that look photoreal, that covers an enormous area. So that's the possibility. And so now you just have to figure out, what is the sweet spot? Meaning, is there a reason? Do we want large maps to look like this, or do we just want to have kind of iconic locations? Meaning, I think most of us want to have the area around Temple of Elemental Evil from those map inserts in have them detailed like this. That would be kind of cool, so you can run the Emridi Meadows battle again with the next 5 miles around or something like that. So you can do maneuvers and all sorts of stuff.
I've drawn a hex like that. I did an all hex at that size of the Temple of Elemental Evil one. It's a task filling a hex like that.
Yep, it really is, and this way you have computer algorithms. You can kind of tell it that the terrain has this kind of recipe. You can tell it this is the Yatil, the meaning the biggest mountains, or this is just flat rolling landscape with like flat rolling plains or whatever it is. And you can give it a vegetation biome and tell it that this is the recipe I want. It should be predominantly oak forest, and then it will be oak forest that grows naturally where oak should grow in real world. So
Anna cooks her maps.
yeah.
She has
Yep.
recipes.
Yeah,
things.
exactly. It's basically that way. You program them and then it generates, and then you go in and paint in, say, oh, I want some more oaks here, and I want a few less there, and I want a little bit more mountain. And then you go in and paint in a little bit stronger, and then it recalculates the fractals to make a little bit of a bigger hill there or a little bit flatter there and stuff. So that's basically how it's done. And there you saw some tech demos of the latest technology. The other cool thing about the latest technology is that you can use what is called geographical TIFFs. So you can actually place the map on the globe when you create it. So then when you import it in, it will be the right spot on the planet, so to speak. So you will actually generate them, so you can generate bit by bit.
Nice.
And you can cover enormous area. You can literally cover the whole planet if you have 10 years or a whole studio that work with you. You can do it in a couple of years. But so it's theoretically possible. But now it will actually be up to my patrons, because I will give some examples of this or contra working on something that looks like the existing map or whatever, and we can see the pros and cons, both from the time perspective and what is actually useful for DMs. What do you want for type of maps when you run your games? Because there is a thing like too much detail, especially for some DMs. For some, even the map we have that I've done so far is too much detail. They want something that is more stylish because they don't want to use something that limits their possibilities, so to speak.
So, Jason, what do you want to see from Anna?
Oh, from her maps.
Yeah.
Well, I'm one of these DMs that there's just can't be enough detail. So I love being able to look down and like I have her 576 map, and I love the zoom feature. So I keep zooming down to see the details. And so for me, like the further that she can go
Yeah.
and show these details. But I do understand what you're saying as far as will maps be over detailed. Like, like we were talking with the Living Greyhawk Verbabank triad, and they did that town thing. And Verbabank, which is really a little piece of the terrain there, has so many named towns from them that if you try to put all that information on the map, it's too much. It'll clog things up.
Yeah, you need a larger scale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it depends. Yeah, he's right. It just
and
just depends on where you are, on there. And there's big, vast areas that have nothing still.
Yep.
yeah,
So,
and so Verbabank is a very crowded looking thing when it really shouldn't be. So what I like in Anna's maps is that it isn't overcrowded, but I do love the detail both in the named areas and especially in the physical looks, because I mean, I love Darlene's map. It was a beautiful piece of art, but like you said, 30 miles a hex.
yeah,
It's just vast, and you can't really get a sense of detail out of it.
There is no detail that is smaller than 30 miles that can be placed on her map, really.
Right.
It's basically the pixel size of a 30 miles. Yeah.
And I mean, if you're considering that every single water that's shown on there has to be something so vast, and I'm really intrigued with the Anasis. Now, jumping off the 576, it's that river map. It's an important thing to me because I'm one of those guys who wants to get into details of trade and water navigation, and it's a part of the thing that it for a player they shouldn't have to care about it, but for me, things like trade and water navigation, where waterfalls are, which way things are flowing, that's the kind of detail that feeds into adventures for me. So that business with her river map is a big a big thing for someone like me. So what I like from what Anna's doing is I love seeing all this, and I just when she can get into those kind of details, what she can think of, I just love seeing that, and it's so helpful.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
interested to see it
Yeah.
just in its final form because I get so confused around Greyhawk. What the hell's going on with those rivers? To be honest with you, I'm like, which way
Yeah.
are these rivers going? I
Yeah.
mean, just
Yeah.
just as a novice, I'm like,
Yeah, I guess I'm one of the few that looks at the overview quite often and zoom out and go back and forth. A lot of people probably dig into, now I'm into adventuring in this little area, and they don't connect the dots with the bigger picture, so to speak.
How do you get Anna's 3D map and get World of Warcraft like details added onto it? Well, you can add.
That's for the next seminar, but I'm
Yeah.
going to say one word: game engines.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, game engines is
Yep.
the next thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
So
Game engines, that meaning now technology wise, the sky's the limit. Meaning you can do almost anything. It's just a matter of time and resources to do it, so to speak. And I mean more manpower to do it. And manpower and CPU cycles. Those are the things that tools are not that expensive anymore. So it's manpower, creativity, and CPU cycles and GPU cycles. Those are the limitations. Yep.
yeah, the rivers are in a 30-mile hex. How wide are the rivers? We don't know. I mean, that's a lot of the.
Exactly.
That's a lot.
Yeah. That was the goal with the river map to get like a point, meaning the biggest rivers are probably 2-3 miles across. They're like the Amazon, the Nesser, and a few others where you have these huge lakes drained out in the ocean. They are huge rivers, 2-3, maybe 4 miles even at the estuary.
But
and
you
then
don't
you have
know.
from the tiny. Yeah. So I try to classify them that way because that classification will be something I will use and reference extensively when I move into detail things. When I move into Gaia, to View, and these terrain tools, I need to go in and look how wide do I actually need to make the river, and what the river banks look like, and so on. Meaning, it's at 5 feet deep and sandbanks, or it's like a Norwegian fjord where it's like 2,000 feet deep.
So much
These
detail.
kind of issues I have to kind of look into when I actually model the terrain. So have this, the river map is like a reference chart I can look into and go back, because I would need it to match. Instead of reading all the sources again, I can actually look at the map and do the research and present. So it's basically a research document for me going forward. Plus, it's also hopefully a useful gaming tool in the meantime as well.
Yeah, and so Big Mac said, "Do you have the ridge lines where the water flows one way into a river and the other way into a different river?" The answer is yes. I mean, that's a lot of the stuff you're working on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it will
Yeah.
be modeled, so to speak. And first I have to model it, and that's what I'm doing with the Earth model, meaning you have to model the whole
Contours.
continent at first,
Yeah.
and the basic elevation. So I know that lake, meaning how high is near Div over the ocean, for instance. And my idea now is it's only a few inches. It's not much at all. It's basically the reason the water flows out of the Nerdiv is basically so much water flowing into it, so it flows out just to maintain balance.
It's kind of like
So
Niagara Falls.
Exactly, it's not much at all. So the difference, but then you move up to Weiss Still Lake, it may be a few more inches, a foot or so, not much more. But Lake Quag is probably a different beast, because then it's flowing through mountains and all that. So I simply assume that, and that we have to realize the terrain north, meaning the wolf nomads and the tiger nomads, need to be significantly higher than Lake Quag, because otherwise, why the hell is not the Lake Quag flowing out through the wolf nomads and over that? Why does it spill through the Yatils and through the mountains? Those are the kind of geologic questions. I'm going to pick the brains of Maldin for this one, because he
just hopped on.
Oh, awesome!
He just hopped on. So what timing
awesome.
with his diamond VIP badge there?
And
Finally,
so I have to hijack Maldin some hours for some streaming, and we need to, or some Zooming or Skyping or something, or Discord, so we can discuss these things, because I need his expertise for this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just, I want to say one thing that David Leonard points out. Darlene's map's timeless. It is. I mean, it's
Oh
the
yeah, it's
original
timeless.
map,
Yeah, that's
and
the
that's,
original map, and that's.
yeah,
But I
we're not
totally
bashing
agree.
anything. It's timeless.
Yeah, and also I agree with David here. That meaning David Leonard. I see it as a medieval map. It's like you see if you look at a medieval map of Europe or the world, and then you look at the real world. I see Darlene's map as that medieval map, beautiful, artistic, historic, significant, and all that. But it's not the DM reference I want for my games, but it's something that I will give to my players because that's what they have to navigate by. Yeah.
So when we get to the end, or not the end, but I want you can put one of your large diatribes in there that you do, Gary, about the Iron Gate project that you were going to work on as one of the things that we're moving forward with. So please stick around and then put
Yep.
that in there, or come on, your
Yep.
choice.
That was my mapping spiel for this
That's-
Legends and Lore. So yep.
No, that was great.
Those are
And
the slides. Yep. Missing slides. Yep.
I was, like I said, that first one, I was scared. I was a little
Yeah.
nervous. First time I've ever
Yeah.
dual streamed. They're asking all this responsibility of me.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: a lot of people didn't know, but Anna knew. About an hour before we went online,
Mm-hmm.
I get contacted by Casey Rift and the upper team at GaryCon Virtual. Jay, can I ask you a favor of you? Okay, sure. What? Can you run and produce Stefan Picorni's game Sunday night? I'm like, what? Yeah, we really need someone who knows what they're doing, and I'm gonna. Can you do it? I was like, okay. And if you want, you can play in it too. I didn't go there, but yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. So they came out of the blue and asked me, and I was like, how am I gonna say no to that? And so.
But you did it without any snafus or any difficulties. Yep.
Yes, Ass Hurt the Bear probably does poop in the woods occasionally. We'll find that out. We'll find that out how much he does after Brian Blumklotz and he make their brand new heraldry that he won that night. So,
Right.
absolutely, it's definitely a wonderful thing. It was cool. But so I found that out, and I was a little scared about that because I told him, let's see, I have 2 streams today, 3 streams tomorrow, and I'm going all day Saturday. I can't even start this till Sunday
And
morning.
that was how many? Was it 7 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours?
7.5 it went.
7.5 hours. Yeah.
It went, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
I
But
mean,
there
you
were
can
some
fry
breaks.
a laptop for less than that.
Yeah, it was crazy, and that was the only one that I did that was dual streamed on the main GaryCon channel too. That was the finale of the entire GaryCon Virtual, so I had to step up on that, and we'll show that shortly. So let's talk a little more humor, shall we?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So let's skip the streaming seminar and go to Puppet Dad, Jason, and Chuck Cumbow, amongst others, playing in my game Horror in the Hools Saturday afternoon. Now, everyone knows Fritz Winchester. If you don't and you're not new, there's characters that are hated. Michael Baton, Gilthanas Markham, and Fritz Winchester, the 3 most hated characters in the campaign, right? So Chuck I say to Chuck, I had a spot open. I'm like, Chuck, I know you want to play. He's like, yeah. I said, okay, here's the only deal. You got to play Fritz. No problem. So here's a little clip of an incident that occurred during the final battle. Hopefully I pressed the right button on this one. Yes.
You gonna run
This
in?
was hilarious.
Chuck, you gonna run in?
I'm coming for you.
You're disappointed. You get inside?
Yeah.
There's a
Here it comes.
tied up, probably 4 or 5-year-old girl.
I was expecting a Rakshasa or some crap from
After that show, and
Well,
you're my hero.
I'll say to her, "Where's your mother?"
God.
What?
Legitimate concern.
They shouldn't say who's your daddy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. She's like, I don't belong here. I want to go home.
All right. So, How do I do? How you want me to do some sort of a motive check here or something?
It's a 4 or 5-year-old kid, right? And her hands are tied. Her hands are tied.
I want to go home.
This isn't the first time that Fritz has been duped by a 4-year-old.
Let me check my intelligence. Well,
Is that a 5e thing, an emotive check?
You guys are paranoid as hell, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's an insight check is what he's looking
inside.
for.
Yeah. Sorry.
Make a wisdom check.
Motive.
You have 7 wisdom. Make a wisdom check.
Let's do 11. That sounds better.
All right, I'll let you make an intelligence check. 11.
I can't believe you agreed to that. All right. I'll look her over and I'll say, why, sure. I'll help you escape. And I'll go over and start untying her.
Okay, there you go. I put you outside, but you're inside just because I want people to see where you are. Candace, you're next.
David's got a good idea in
Me?
chat. He says cast detect magic on a little girl while you're at it.
Yeah, a thief?
Yeah, I'm going to cast Detect Magic on her.
A straight thief. No.
Okay.
You guys are all. You guys, do I really scar you guys that much? You're that
Hey,
paranoid?
where is Candace at?
Candace is
I'm
right in front of
in
you.
front of you.
You're in
Desmond.
front of me? Is
There's
it
two
possible for me to
toads.
go? Is it possible for me to go in front of
There
Candace?
you go.
Absolutely. I just
We had some evil guys.
So there you go. So, come on, that was funny.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. A Rakshasa, really, with 4th level characters? Come on. Oh my gosh. So that was a blast. I had a great time, and the great thing was all 7 players, including Jason, had never played my style, and playing it remotely. Yeah, exactly, Bash. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I got to get your dice out. I haven't done that yet. I got be getting the stuff from the VTT Garricon, but I got to get that out. But so Jason,
that was a great game, and I'll tell you, it's nice when it wraps up that way. When you, and especially because I'll tell you, Fitz was being a little high. He was being a little not to character, I thought, in the beginning, and at the end. My God, that was so funny. And the suggestions coming in chat.
Yeah, I think it was David Leonard who said, "Do the detect magic on the kid." I think it was you, David. Yeah. But it was good to see, and so Fritz had his moment though. Where in a previous fight, there was a monstrous crocodile that went after Jason's character Dex, and he snuck up on it and critical hit backstabbed it, and did triple, did 9 times damage, which really saved Dex's behind there during that fight. So
definitely,
but it was great to play with Puppet Dad. It was great to play with JC Luxton and the others and Chuck. It was a fun time. So and it was Horror in the Holes, which is the joint. My half, and then Carlos has his half, and they're 2 distinct, separate adventures, all set right. And Anna put it on the map. That's another great thing. Tying in, we all tying stuff together, so I have it right on that map, right outside of Salt Marsh. Perfect. So man, anytime. I got something I'm going to talk about at the end of the show too, and how we continue with Greyhawk, and we'll talk about an idea that came to my head. So. Any final comments on Horror in the Holes there, Jason, or anyone else who's watching?
Well, that's really, it just shows what you can't do with theater of the mind. You can't play a game like that. That was amazing. And but I'm not I'm a big mini fan, so that was just a dream table, and I love that game. And it was it was a great adventure because it was fast moving, well paced. And we ended up. We had a pretty good group. We had a big group. What was it?
7
of
characters.
Us? Yeah, 7 players. That's the big thing. And I think everybody pulled their weight, and I think everybody got involved. That was a great scenario, especially a little tournament scenario. And you had to be the one, Jay, running around doing all the moving around for us.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to do that for the foreseeable future, because even though my friends, none of them are COVID positive, I just can't take a chance to have them over here for the next couple of weeks. So we're not doing that. So I've set up my game now, and I put this in the posts. It's going to be scened not sprawled. So I'm not gonna have everything on the 8x8 table. And we're gonna move the figures around. I'm gonna bring a scene in, slide it in. I got that set up for tomorrow night. So, what's up, DM? Good to see you, man. But yeah, and that's the style I play. So it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. And Anna's played it a couple times as well. So
Yeah.
but going before that, it wasn't a surprise, but it was a surprise that it was just so monstrous. And I think people, one of the reasons they were going to this or watching stuff was they wanted to learn. I mean, that's what I could think of, and that was my Saturday morning streaming seminar I had with the following people. I want to shout out to all of them, and that the following, Jimmy Duffy, Prater's Rejects, was huge with that, and Frank Schumacher and Ann Wilson from Nightheart Gaming. And this is now, including the Stefan, is the #1 watch show ever live streamed on Lurkazama channel. It was crazy. And I should have known because we almost had 100 signups for it. And people asked a lot of questions about this medium. How do you get into it? What's the difference? A lot of people still think that if you have Zoom, you can stream, and that's not the case. Or you have Skype, you can stream. You can't, and you got to learn the ins and outs of it. And we tried to give them the pitfalls, social aspects of it. We've all, seen some issues like
David.
that. Excuse me?
Yeah.
Oh, David's
David.
leaving.
Oh, hey, David. Yeah, David has to work early, so David will catch you later on. David, thanks. Talk to you soon, and have a good one, man. David's working hard, in that, I guess, in those mines, up in Canada. So, hopefully, we help some people. We had a lot of downloads. I had my reference card. Trying to get more, and I've said this multiple times on the post, trying to get more people into this because I think we need more Greyhawk streamers, period. Because really, when you think about it, I can think of them on one hand. That's it. You got right now Carlos, right? You got Will, and you got Mike Wilson Celestian running his 2E Fantasy Ground games on Saturday nights, doing Temple Elemental Evil now. That's it. I can't think of any others. There's a hole. So I think that if we got some more on there, that would help with everything else that we're talking about. So that was great. That was a great one, and thank you to all the people who came out and watched that. Anna, did you catch it? You were busy, right? You were busy that whole day.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch much of that at all. I caught a little bit, but then
Yeah.
we had the seminar with all the map making seminar was part of that time. So yeah.
So you know what it takes to stream. Throw it out there. You feeling now that you don't really have to worry about it? Is it a weight
That's
off?
one of the reasons that I was so keen on you taking over the Legends and Lore show, because there is a lot of technical setup, and you have to get all the setup in OBS or XSplit or whatever programming you do. So yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome! Oh, that's awesome!
I have to.
Oh my god! See, but I'm on the
yes.
I'm on the laptop,
Oh,
so I
wow.
can't throw it up here because I got Twitch on my laptop. I don't want to risk any calamities,
that
or
is
I throw it right.
fantastic.
I promise to swear I'll use that Sunday night when you're on Sunday night. That's awesome.
Fantastic. Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's going right into Discord too.
That is it's fantastic.
Oh, it's great, man. Oh my god, that's funny.
Lloyd's an artist.
Oh, definitely. Wow.
Yeah. Streaming's not that difficult, but it is because you have another layer of responsibility.
Yeah.
So,
and also, if you want to do more than just stream, you need to. There's a lot of graphics. You need to have all the surrounding things. You need to know a little about fonts. You need to place the images. You need to be able to resize things like that. And then you need to have the technical stuff. You need to understand a little bit about bandwidth. You need to compression algorithms and all sorts of weird things, resolutions and frame rates and stuff like that. So, and then you need to work out if your internet connection is good enough. Do you need a cable into your computer normally? And Jay doesn't always use that, and we can see the difference when he goes from being in his office to being
in the basement.
Yeah.
Although we have worked out those problems just by what? Here's the bizarre thing. Remember, I was having the sound issues. If I put my widescreen monitor in a certain connection into my video card into this computer, I'm not having the issues now.
Ah, that's good. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Someone, Jimmy said it could be just the way it routes the bus routes, or
Yeah.
just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, and King Bashman knows too, because he started streaming off of Jimmy Duffy as well. And yeah, you can't. You need, in order to stream, you can stream, but you need content. And then you gotta put it in production, and you gotta make sure no one does something they're not supposed to. You know, if you have people on. So there's a lot goes into it, but it's not that difficult because I taught myself from scratch. So, but let's get back to Greyhawk here. Saturday night was a cool game because it was not me DMing. I could just sit there and play. Anna played. Josh Pop played. The Nazrat, our longest subscriber, played from UK.
Yeah.
And it's
From
5
UK,
o'clock
yeah.
in the morning when we're finishing his time. And our good friend Brian and my good friend Jeremy, who we played World of Warcraft back in 2004-05. First time he played with us. And then Brian DM'd, who's his game ends usually at 9 o'clock tonight, and he usually hops on a little bit after that. So we all played, and Brian's really smart with this stuff. Our names, Gitano found out a lot of them were spoof names on archaeologists, real archaeologists, and he kind of changed them up a bit. It was really a cool idea.
Yeah.
And once the audience picked it out, we each got inspiration off of it. So that was a neat idea.
Yep.
So Jeremy's dwarven rogue was named Rotik, right? After the Rotik and Greyhawk, but he could not do anything as far as thief abilities. Failed every time, right? So we're near the end of the adventure.
I've never seen it roll in that many ones and twos. That was crazy.
Unbelievable. Here's at the end of the adventure a little clip of what happened trying to get into the final door to the final level of Tomb of Tyberish. We're good.
Man, it's awesome.
I guess should we go down? The steps go down into the room too, or is that like a viewing area?
That's the steps where you came from.
Okay, so we gotta walk that distance, right?
Yeah, you guys can just move your characters over there. I kind of gave you what all you see.
Nice shirt, Brian.
The story along the way.
The story along the way.
Well,
so instead of like cat people, it's fish people.
There we go.
I'm rushing to take a look at those doors. Let's take a look.
So the doors, you did twice as good as before. I'll tell you that much.
You rolled a 2? Oh my gosh!
Oh my!
All right.
I've never seen. Wow, that's so awesome. It's really funny.
It's
hold
comical at this point.
Hold my beer. Oh,
that much better. Okay, so the doors, they are massive onyx discs, very big.
I thought they were made of gold.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought I read too.
Massive golden doors are set into the western wall.
And what am I just reading here? The doors are formed of massive onyx discs.
Get it straight here. Come on.
No, they're golden onyx. Okay, shut up.
There you go. The thieves that we had a halfling bard, and it could not do anything, could not find anything during that entire thing. It was a funny time. So,
yep,
definitely. But that was a fun game. I didn't have to DM. I could just sit there and play. I played a dual wielding fighter, 5e, second level. it's good to change it up, and that it's kind of like fits right into our Saturday night special. It was at the exact same time slot, and it was a prime time slot. We had good viewership on that, and we all had a fun time. So, and Jeremy has decided to play now because he's going to pick up in our other group, Anna. So he's going to come into the group now. Yeah. And
So not that many ones or bad rolls didn't discourage him. That's awesome.
no, because it was good. I mean, we literally did World of Warcraft.
It was a great example of running using a virtual tabletop too, as an example of another type of play you can run online. You can run what you normally do that with miniatures and webcams and stuff like that, but you can also run it as using a virtual tabletop. Both are awesome, entertaining, and the two different styles of play that both work really well online.
And I'm trying to get him. Well, who knows with the schedules and stuff and real life, but his Greyhawk world. We linked it multiple times. I'm gonna link it now. Got to check out the stuff he's done for Greyhawk. He's especially for 5e. He's created special abilities based on worshiping, not even for clerics or priests. You get those special abilities. There's a masterwork crafting system. There's a system for herb crafting, all right there at his Obsidian portal. So it's another Greyhawk person. I got him on Forgotten Realms about a year ago. Thank God. After all that time, and he fits right in, into the 5e world using Fantasy Grounds. So it's good to have him as an addition. It's just the streams. He's doing so many other things. I can get him on like once every couple months. So that was definitely a blast. Jason, did you watch any of that? Mike, you hopped on, didn't you?
I saw a little bit of that.
Yeah.
The low rolls. I think I saw that clip.
Yeah, I was right near the end. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. So yeah, definitely. Jason, did you watch any of that one? Oh, Jason may have lost his mic.
I just conked out after Hool, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's okay, man. Dude, you could see in my face how freaking tired I was there. So
yeah, that was a lot of hours for you that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you barely had a break. I had a 2-hour break in between that I can have dinner and sit on the patio for a little bit and then come back in again. But you basically ran kind of wall to wall in them.
Not bitching. Here was my day. This is all Eastern time. 11 to 1 stream, right? 1:05, I start running all this equipment downstairs into my basement, get set up. People start zooming in at 1:30. So what's that, 20? I had 10 minutes there. Run Horror in the Holes, which goes a half hour later than we thought. So it went till 6:30. Take all the equipment that's down there, run it all back upstairs. Eat dinner from 7 to 7:30. Sit down. You come on. Brian comes on. Then at 8 o'clock we started. We started that. It was a long day, but it was fun.
Yep.
It was a blast. Oh yeah, exactly. The chat was actually saying he's moving his equipment now. Absolutely.
Yeah, you need to have 2 studios, one basement studio and then an office.
Yeah, that's not wife. That's called wife kick my ass rule there on that for that kind of amount of equipment. But I need to work out anyway.
Yeah.
So Greyhawk is alive and well from all this. But before we go into our in-depth Greyhawk discussion, which we really need to discuss where we're going to go, let's finish up the day. We'll talk about this. Sunday, I had some time, and it wasn't until 5 o'clock Eastern that this started. I was shooting in the dark because Stefan had told me any specifics he wanted. So I made stuff up. I made an ad up for him. I used this background. I said, Anna, you're careful. I use this background. It'll look good and all.
I helped you out a little bit, and you had no clues. We just put it logo and stuff.
Yeah, and we made a banner. I'm like, I don't know, Anna. They're not contacting me. I'm just going to make this.
Yeah.
And damn the torpedoes, right? So what a funny. When they first came on, I thought this is going to be like, if this is possible, this is not. Don't take this wrong, right, guys? This makes Tim and me look like normal people. Okay, I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know, and then it was hysterical. I mean, he's really funny as a DM, really funny. Did some really great stuff, and this dude Weezer the Mage. Oh my gosh, the row and all that. Well, I have I stayed out of it. I only one time I interrupted the actual event before, not in between breaks. I hopped on, and that is during this scene that I'm going to show. And this is one of the this guy. I don't know if he's a psychedelic stuff. I don't know, but this is one of the funniest, craziest things I've ever heard in my life. So I'm going to share this moment with you. Take a look at Stefan's face. Even Stefan doesn't know what to think of it, and that's saying something, right? Here we go. One. Brian. Oh, I hit the wrong one. See, I hit the wrong button. Seen the heraldry? Hit the wrong button. Sorry. Corner. 12.
Very serious.
Here we go.
I don't think a cure wounds is going to do it.
No, I doubt it. So, okay, so this is what I have. I have 3 cure light wounds, I have a cure serious wounds, and I have the healing potion. So I'm guessing I'm going to have to earn the scroll, which is the cure serious wounds.
No. I got something better.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, the instant stick.
The gnome has
And
been.
someone has a mushroom, right?
I got a mushroom.
We soaked the
mushroom too.
We soaked the mushroom in the potion, burned an incense stick, and then shoved the potion with the mushroom down his throat. In the hole that's already there to begin with.
Look.
So it's closer to the stomach. You can't choke on it there. Now, granted, they'll have a tracheotomy afterwards, but hey, it beats being dead.
I'm sorry, I had to comment the first time. That's that was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Even the look on Stefan's face is priceless.
That's me. I jumped in.
Yeah, pulling your leg.
Yeah, what are these mushrooms for anyway?
Yeah.
That sounded good.
It did.
On hearing that, I eat my mushroom out of my bag that I took. I'm like, well, fuck it.
You eat the mushroom. The dwarf eats the mushroom.
Damn, I wish I bought.
One gold down the hatch.
It doesn't take effect immediately. Doesn't take effect immediately.
Okay.
When will it take effect?
I wish I bought one now.
No.
That is just so bizarre. I mean, just so the gnome got his Adam's apple ripped out and was in negatives and stuff. That was just one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life. I was like, it just wow. So yeah, the look on Stefan doesn't even know what to say. He's like, So boy, 7.5 hours of that. But they took breaks, and I got allowed to run a lot of ads and really promote the channel. And then I promoted the hell. You guys probably saw it. I promoted the hell out of that ad everywhere I could of that video. It's all over the place, everywhere. And there's a lot of views on it, and they were really appreciative. And I really thanked Stefan and his partner for what they did. And it was just a fun time. And you know, hopefully they'll contact me for I said, you want to do some more promotions in the future, just contact me. And kind of, I'm doing that. Hey, it was great. And then I'm not going to harass them about anything else. So they want to approach me for something great, you know? So, fun times with that, but that ended it finally. So it's like 12:30. It ended, you know, it's Sunday. I mean, it's Monday in late night. It was a long time. It was a fast 7.5 hours. I'll give you that, Electromac. We were talking, you, me, Josh Pop, a whole bunch of people were just in chat, just BSing, having fun. So it was a great night, definitely for the chat. The chat was going great. And combined, there was almost 200. At some points, there was almost 200 people watching between the two channels combined. So it was it was fantastic.
Can't remember last time I gamed that long in person.
Yeah, Mike. Think about that. 7.5 hours. I mean, we've run late. Like we've run 6 hours. I don't think I've ever run that much. Jason, what's the longest you've done lately? Jason.
We probably miss him. Yeah, I haven't done. I think the longest I've done is like 5 hours. I think the last 10 years. No, we probably did. When we played in the store, we probably did a 6 or 7 hours. The longest. We took a whole Saturday or Sunday from like 10 o'clock to 7 in the evening.
I remember getting everyone together for a big Conquer IU's session
Yeah.
back in 3.5, I believe.
Yeah, we played
Yeah.
26 hours straight.
Oh my
that
God.
was like 30 years ago. We played
Jeez.
26 hours straight. Yep.
Tim will verify that in 1987, when we went down to Mark's sister's house, we finished Temple of Elemental Evil down there, and then we did the very first one, Founding of Altamira, where they did the Founding of the Land down there too. And we ran straight through, starting from Friday night all the way to Sunday afternoon. It was, I don't know how many hours we played. We had to have played 40 hours that whole weekend. But dude, I was 20. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've haven't played that. I haven't done anything like that in a long time. But I like I just said, I've been doing up until this break we've been having a real tabletop game, and we try to make an afternoon of it, like 6 hours. But that's all I can stand anymore. And I'm just thinking, when that thing went on, I kept thinking, I know you weren't playing, Jay, but I was just thinking, oh my God, Jay's just walked into this game.
I was committed. I was committed, and I could stand up and get away and use the restroom and stuff and hear it. And then when I actually, hey, Chuck, Chuck already had your moment, Chuck. Trollor Games, thanks, Chuck. Thank you so very much. Woohoo! Definitely. You already had your Fritz moment. We did that a little earlier, but thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. I could get away. I actually had dinner while it was going on, and I just walked the laptop downstairs, and I'm like, I gotta eat real quick. And then my wife's like, oh, just eat up at your desk. It's no big deal. So, it's okay. You can catch it on the vid, Chuck. It's really hysterical. But what a fun weekend. Would I do it again in a week or two? No, not 6 streams. No, that's too much. Would I do it next? Get yours, Gary Con. Who knows? So, anyone want? All right. So, final thoughts on the Gary Con success or not, and anything if you have an idea between the 3 or 4 of us, something that should have been improved on. For I know it was short notice, but like something you would have liked to see, or something like that. So, Jason, start us off. Gary Con synopsis. Jason.
We'll see if he gets his microphone going again.
How about
Tap.
How about Mike? Mike, you want to start it off?
Gary Con synopsis. Well, ideally, I would like it to be live.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, we could do. Yeah, I know there was the official virtual Gary Con thing going on, but I feel like what we were doing anyways.
True.
Maybe some of them games, were a bigger deal. Anna could put on a seminar anytime she wants. You could put a seminar on anytime you want online. So I don't know I guess the timing was okay, but I feel actually going somewhere to meet people is more, it's special to me. Although I think doing it online, we drew in more people. So I'm very conflicted.
Meeting people you can't replace. You go out to dinner with them, you hang, you have a drinker here and there.
My first Gary Con, I met Darlene and went out to eat with her. Thanks to Carlos.
Right, that's awesome.
That was unreal. I'll never have another convention experience like that.
Virtual.
Yeah. Meaning but first of all, I was impressed how quickly it actually came about. It was only like 2 weeks before when they really, in earnest, started to realize that it was planned for even early on that there were going to be a virtual Gary Con for people who couldn't make it. But then when they realized they were going to cancel it, then everybody.
Yeah, on short notice, it was really.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks notice, and everything kind of so it was a lot of overlap. Things weren't planned ahead, and we just went with it. But I think it proved for the first time that you can actually have a virtual role-playing game convention that could be something that probably attracted several thousand viewers that weekend, definitely. So there were probably as many people watching as it would be been in the real convention. I don't think it's a replacement for a real convention, but I certainly think it's a complement, and it has some benefits too. And meaning if you have a real convention, you want a lot of people, and everything happens over a very short time. But actual virtual conventions can be, you can run it on a Friday night. You can have, you instead of having a broad convention where you talk about everything and play 10 different games, you can have micro convention where you talk about one particular very super specialized game for 4 hours and a Saturday afternoon or
And
something
that's
like
what I
that.
wonder.
Yeah.
Like we had the new Orc Journal come out that weekend. And I think it would have been really interesting to do, Jason's dropped. I think it would have been really interesting to do a seminar just on Orc Journal. You know?
Oh yeah,
rather-
and he had that planned. He did have that planned. Christoph had that planned, but would he have gotten virtually all those Patreon signups right then and there, which he got from that show? That's the trade off, I don't think so. Now he was going to give everyone a bunch of those out there, and probably he may have gotten more. Who knows? But it was going to be my first GaryCon, and it in a way it was, but it wasn't my first in-person GaryCon.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Gitano, you're on. Gitano was not going to GaryCon. How many events did Gitano participate in directly or watch? I want to know that answer, because he went from 0 participation to how many?
Playing field.
Yeah, I bet you he did at least 10. I think you said you had 12. So we'll see. Yeah, a permanent virtual con would be great, Malden. You could actually go to it. That's true too.
Yeah.
Being overseas.
Yeah, I think they plan what is it, like a COVID con or something like that in April, that is to bash the virus, so to speak. So they're planning for charity, to have a charity con. I think it's COVID con or something like that. I saw some ads for it. It will be around on all the Facebook groups and stuff coming up. They're kind of gearing up for it.
No GazumpaCon, no. No.
A few more years.
Gitano's looking for his clipboard, because there were so many that he was like as busy as I was.
Yeah.
So the Con of Champions, yeah. Well, 14.
Yeah.
Okay, events that he went from 0 to 14. Now that is a huge thing. I'm glad to hear it. And TimCon, where you all have tongue tools, and you see who has their tongue left at the end of the convention. That could be pretty crazy. Yeah. So
I must be more into the socializing. Anna remembers this. When I back at Gen Con, I would plan a dozen things, but by the time I've been to Gen Con several times, I was planning 0.
Yeah, same here.
I just did all socializing.
Yeah. And that's what my plans for GaryCon was to have to be part of 4 seminars, and then the rest of it is just socializing.
Yeah.
And those were the seminars that I will be involved in. And then I had a couple of, like 3 or 4 that I could go to, but those were more kind of, I'm not so sure I would go to them necessarily. It was more like I would go to the ones that I'm on the panel and then just socialize the rest. That's because there's so many friends to meet, but it almost felt like it with so much Zooming and conferencing and being on the panels and stuff. So even if I never left my office and I went between the bedroom and the kitchen and here and in my house all the time, it still felt like there was something special going on, and it was kind of an amazing feeling. Yeah.
I was going to say, Dennis, are you near Hamilton? Were you a Youngblood fan like I was in the 80s? The Hamilton Mustangs. You'll get that joke if you're a Rob Lowe fan or a hockey fan. So,
Mustangs.
Yeah.
But so I definitely think that it was, for being a first experiment with only 2 weeks
wow.
of preparation, I think it was a success. Not a roaring success, but definitely something that gave me an idea that we can do this more times. And we can also, I think, experiment with the format, because when you have it online and you have the world audience and they can basically come for free, you can have micro conventions where you target something that is so minusculely finite little speciality. You can have a convention where you all talk about the Emerald Meadow battles. I'm sure you can do that one afternoon or one Saturday or one Sunday or something. Meaning you can be as specialized as you want, and there is still 500 people who are interested in it worldwide. That can.
So I looked at what I had before. I had 2 games I was going to DM. I was going to DM Hard in the Holes, which I did. The one Gitana you played at PAX, Delve in the Lord's Tomb, and then the Seminar Convention. And then I was going to help with Anna's. I was going to miss because there was a conflict, and the Greyhawk one I was going to be part of. But instead, I got to run 6. So, but then again, there wasn't the interaction part. So. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. So, okay. So you're right across the. Well, yeah. No problem. Isn't there like a tunnel that goes from Detroit to Windsor? That's how it connects to Canada there, because that's where Canada goes way down, right? I don't know. I don't live there.
Am I back, guys?
You're back.
Yes,
you're back.
you're back.
You're back.
I had to reboot. I had a.
That's okay. Yeah. So there are options out there. You got me thinking now. Yeah, tunnel and bridge. You got someone. I want to credit whoever said that. Was it Electromag? Whoever said the or Equitus or the Greyhawk Con virtual.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, meaning you can be special. If we draw in 500 people, we can have awesome fun the whole weekend. And run games and seminars and whatever. But to me, it's more like, should you have a con? If you want to have a more kind of everyone together con, you need to have one Twitch channel where you basically run continuously. That way, but on the other hand, you can also have more intimate groups. This time there was, and I'm not sure I like it or not really, there was a bunch of cartography seminars, and I realized too late, so I didn't sign up, but they were run in Zoom only. They were not run on Twitch. So if you weren't signed up, you never got a chance to watch them. And in a way, I kind of like it. If I were running them, if you have 10 in audience, you can kind of share screens and you can doodle together and so on. But the boring thing is that no one else can watch it, and they're not there for eternity, so to speak, for a wider audience.
Private meetings,
So, so this is Anna's gripe about VTT GaryCon was there was 400 events, and I'd say on that main streaming there was only 50 at most, right? I mean, I consider myself fortunate. I had 5 out of 6 of my events dual streamed. That's crazy, right? But there was a 300 some events that were just not streamed at all. They were just zoomed together that you missed, and that's a good observation about that.
Yeah, there needed to be more streaming going on for this. But I don't know. I missed what you're saying about momentum, but this business with the doing virtual conventions, not necessarily VTT, but just virtual conventions, that for me is something I'm disabled. I'm never probably going to another convention again. And this was just an amazing thing. Now I know I follow both Reaper and my friend Mike Badalito. He's Bad Mike. He runs the North Texas convention, and they're both going to be ReaperCon and North Tex. They're both going to be doing virtual, despite whether there's going to be a physical attendance or not. So
North Texas has already been canceled.
Oh, they canceled?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Well,
Reaper has not yet, and I'm going to ReaperCon. I'm going to ReaperCon with all my Reaper buddies and Nightheart Gaming, Praetor's Rejects. Mike Celestia may even be there. We may have a whole bunch of online people, because Nightheart Gaming's taking $100,000. They're taking their studio to Reaper's convention, and they're going to be broadcasting from there. I was going to be DMing on that. So,
North Texas was waiting on hearing back from their hotel, but they've already announced they're going to do a stream. They're doing a virtual convention.
Oh, then I can go to North Texas. Yay!
Yeah.
North Texas convention. So it's sad that they canceled it, but I mean, in Gaetano's situation, I might be able to attend now, or I will be able to attend now.
Yeah, and I think, and like we're saying, for momentum for the Greyhawk community, you guys were talking about a Greyhawk virtual convention?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But
that
that's
would be
North
fantastic.
Texas, basically. Yeah.
So North Texas Con, I hear from Alan Growy and a lot of other people, it's one of the best conventions there is. It's small, but it's good, and that's what a lot of people are saying. And they limit it, so once they're to that, whatever 500, and that's it.
Well, yeah, I was down at the first one, same year as Gary Con 1. I was at the first North Texan. We had 60 people, and we had Rob Kuntz, Frank Metzner, Tim Kask, and then later years you get Errol's there and Elmore. You get the incredible people coming to that convention, and you're right there. So I always loved North Tex, but those were all friends of mine anyway. From a lot of guys from the collecting website, the ACM. That's
I know
where
ACM,
we each other from. So
cool.
Nice.
So we were talking about, and you say you love GaryCon. What virtual GaryCon thing was a drawback to you, Jason? Mike gave us ours. You prefer it in person. Anna said there was a lot of ones that weren't available on the streams. They were just zoomed. What would be your?
Well, yeah, I'd say that. For me, I haven't been to a physical convention in, I don't know, 15, 20 years.
Okay.
And for me, it was just, I was going to do the virtual or nothing. And not having the thing streamed, that's, and then if it's not streamed, a lot of it's not recorded either. It's never going to be shown, never
That's
visible.
true.
And so that to me is a sad loss.
It's true. There's 300 some stream. There's 300 some events you're never going to see. That's a true point, Jason. I never even thought about that. That is a huge thing. Well, we have
But
all
it's
ours.
weird though. Think of all the hundreds of living Greyhawk games and conventions. None of that was recorded, I'm sure.
Well, that was pre-technology time, though, right?
Yeah. I'm just wondering, if you had that today, would those be recorded?
Listen,
interacted, all that stuff?
I was taking my recording equipment to GaryCon, and I was going to record everything I possibly could because I got it. I can fit this laptop right here, right in the bag with all the cameras I need and everything. I was bringing it because I wanted to make sure we had it because I remember what happened with not being able to get the vids for it. I mean, now I got the vids perfectly. I can even snip stuff off of them and do all
That's
sorts.
what I'm wondering is, like with those private Zoom things and whatnot, or going to a physical convention, is exclusivity a draw for some people?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. Yeah, to see a seminar and to interact in a seminar and ask questions and see all the stuff around it. And then all the chat in between stuff when you meet people in the corridors and all that. So, yeah.
It's a real good point. I mean, there's points to the positive, negative, but I'll say this: and with what's happened in the world and the time frame it came in, it was a positive. It was
so now it's technology has saved us now because we can keep up both gaming and convention circuits.
I was proud to be a part of it. I jumped on it the minute I found out it was happening, and I said I'm going to do as many as I can. That's when I got with you, and I said let's just do this. And then
and
you remember all that.
And I did all the seminars that I was supposed to have done at the real convention were done virtually. So all of them were, and now
I
they're
love
all
the
recorded.
seminars.
Yeah.
I just love the seminars. They were a big thing for me for this. I mean, I just played the one game, but I tell you, and then, like we're saying, it'd be great if you could just come back and see a lot of the seminars that you couldn't possibly have seen because of time constraints.
Yeah.
Well, at least you can see 3 of them.
Yeah, and you can see them afterwards, so it's still possible. I'm still going to go back and watch some stuff that I missed at Virtual GaryCon.
It should be on those channels.
Yep.
It should be on the dual stream ones. Should be still on those channels.
Yeah.
So now, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Award shows.
No, I don't want that. I don't need an any. I don't want an any. I don't care about that stuff. I don't want that. What do they do on the one channel where they put the slime all over you during the award show? What kids channel is that? And they just drop, they slime you.
Like
Nickelodeon. Yeah, the Nick Awards. Yeah. So
the way I see it is that you have an opening for small specialized micro conventions online that you can, people that are interested in one particular little topic can go to get together on a regular basis, or just say that this weekend, this Friday afternoon, or this whole Saturday, whole weekend, they can have hours of talking to each other, seminars, and discuss things and so on. You just need to organize a little bit so you can draw in people that are interested. You can be as micro target as possible. These kind of really broad things, then it's like when the Critical Role and others come on, and you're only 1 in 500 in chat, you don't get a chance to ask questions and that much.
Yeah,
So to speak.
Can't even see the chat. It's like
Exactly. The chat just, even in my cartography seminar, it just
Yeah, it was going
went by
super
like
fast.
this.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
That's where you need like a double level chat, one for people just to get the feel for posting, but the other where maybe for Patreons, you
Yeah.
know, but just where you're going to be able to talk with people.
Yep.
Because otherwise, I know everything that we're doing is if it picks up just minorly, you know, doubles or triples the amount of viewership, it gets unreadable for the chat. Because
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of Reaper. You know, like the Reaper shows, they tend to be 200, 300 viewers, and their chat is almost unreadable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, then you have to have a super chat or run a Discord group where only a select few can come in who are really dedicated and interested. Or if you have questions, you can send questions in advance. And I got that. I had like 10 questions in the background that some of my friends had sent, and some of them I knew I would answer already, but some of them I threw in and I knew that, okay, I'm going to answer that. So that tweaked the seminar beforehand. So that can work really well. But sometimes you want to answer or have a question answered because what the person says doesn't make sense. So you want like, oh, what about this, or something that comes up during the seminar.
Well, and that's like the use of these points that you know, accrue for viewing, is that you can, you know, maybe have them so people can use them, you know, for these things to show that you're a long-term member, and you can use them to ask questions.
Yep. Yeah, just like you do in regular to give prestige or something.
Kind of like VIP badges on the chat.
Yeah.
So but we want to be inclusive, and we want to include everyone. And like I've said before, we have people that were new to us from Gary Con that are watching tonight, and that's a great sign.
It's fantastic.
That's a fantastic sign. I just want to say thank you all again for your participation. So Tim Kasky was answered 3 of my questions. That is awesome that you Electromac, that you were able to get Tim, you know, and that's another cool thing, is that you know, there was a little more accessibility to everyone. So Greyhawk, where to? So we got a lot of projects going on, a lot of things going on. So Gary, if you're still on, just talk about your Iron Gate project. What's going on with that? That's one. I know David's not on now. There are some things that we need to decide. We got to keep the momentum going, right? So what to do from this point on. If Jason, what do you think? What would you like to see? Jason's off. Ball. Every time I ask a question.
Yep.
Dang
he
it.
disappears. So Mike. Yep.
You're chopping in and out, Jason.
There he is.
I am going to first thing get a new mic, but or a new computer. But one of the things I'd like, I part of this I think is building the momentum is going to be people stepping forward. What we're doing, I know I don't know what I can do different or what I can do more personally. What I'd like to see from people is more advertising and scheduling. Like I'd like to get I'm trying to do a kind of TV guide for things that are happening, and I'd like to get. I know it's almost impossible for you, but like a 2-week lead time, and so we can advertise and get people, because part of the audience is going to be about scheduling to show up. You know, you're going to be available on that night, and if you don't know about it, Certain friends of mine are very bad about scheduling things, and they will post things the night before and these momentous interviews sometimes, and without being able to really bring in the people because there's just no lead time.
I think I'm good at that, Jason. I think I'm decent.
You're good. This was a big disruption over GaryCon, though.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, I mean, just so that there's always something there on the calendar as a placeholder, and just so that there's some swing, even if it's mysterious, just so you know that people are going to be there streaming on such and such a day at such and such a time. But otherwise, I think we're going to have to see some, people stepping up, more people streaming, more people doing events, and I think that is going to come.
Well, it's good to hear. It's good to hear that I can always. Sometimes, if you want a 2-week schedule out, I mean, I don't plan my Thursday night games sometimes that far out. It'd have to be a TBD, but as long as the slot's filled, right? As long as you want to know there's something going on, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, just as long as that people can schedule to be there to see some kind of Greyhawk content.
Okay. Good suggestion, Mike. How about you?
Well, along the lines of what Jason was talking about, we worked Legends and Lore into Jay's schedule. So there's not any conflict. So I guess what Jason's saying, TV guide wise, we would need to. There would have to be a coordination, of course. You don't want any overlap.
Oh, I agree. But see, here's and this is where it gets really tricky. Is that everything on this channel, cool. You got Will doing his stuff. I mean, look what Will starts a brand new show Saturday night while we're streaming Greyhawk. We're streaming the Greyhawks. He didn't know, but I mean, that's just like this is like wow, what a bad. That was the Dragonlance one anyway, but it still was probably a good show, right? We need to coordination is between streamers sometimes is difficult. But things can be worked out. There may be some conflicts here and there, but nothing that can't be worked out that much. I know Carlos does a lot of stuff on Monday nights because it was a free night, and that's why he went to the Mondays for things, which is good. So, but we need notice. You need notice on it. Definitely. Anna, what about you?
Well, I think the to have some sort of coordination, both when it comes to what to do and to fill in gaps and stuff, but also to have the schedule, and also to maintain a regular schedule. Like we try to have a Legends and Lore every Wednesday, and you have a Gabin every Sunday, and you have a game every Thursday. Yeah, so I think that's great, because people get into these habits like, okay, I want to watch that show, or I want to watch this Thursday night game and stuff. So I think that is cool, but also have that kind of coordination between others, and when you plan to start something like run a new campaign or something, and talk to the other streamers and Greyhawk, so you don't overlap both time-wise but also content-wise. Don't try to run the same module just because Wizards comes out with a Salt March sequel. Not everyone should run it at the same time, so to speak, because they can be kind of so that thing, and that goes with all blogger content or whatever. Feed from each other and inspire to do different things.
Yeah, I was going to clarify. I'm not talking that we need just more streamers. I think more bloggers would be awesome. I think more article writers would be great.
Oh, yeah.
We have more stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
I think that the Earth Journal is on its way, because I know that he had to pull one thing out because it was too long, right? And there was so much content in this last one. That's a great sign, right?
Yep.
It's a great sign.
It is.
There's a lot of content out there for their journal.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
Earth Journal is also a great way for someone to be a blogger without having to set up a website to run a web server and all the cost and the trouble that comes with that. You can basically write something that is really cool and then send it and get it published. And that will take care of all the, and you can reach a wide audience, but you don't have to have all the technical hassle. It's like me coming on Jay's channel and sitting here babbling about stuff without having to do all the technical bits.
Please know one thing. I'm tapped out.
Yeah,
I can't do any more content. I will be
bribing
divorced.
myself in, yes.
That's what I was trying to say. I don't know how much more any of us, and especially like Jay, I don't see how much more you could do. So that's why I was saying my main thing would be to see either people stepping up, or and then on the other hand, just on for yourself and what's going on with the streams that exist now is just so that there's a regular basis for them, so that we know when things will be, and I think it's a big benefit for you and for all the audience to be able to say, well, we're going to schedule to be there for this coming Wednesday or for a Wednesday 2 weeks from now, when we know there'll be something, even if we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So Gary, I don't know if you saw it, but as an example, I had the bloggers of Greyhawk show on Gavin not that long ago. Mike, Tommy John Kelly, David. Oh my God, Jason, were you on that show? Who was the fourth? My brain just went numb. There's 4 people. It wasn't Alan. I think it was you, Jason. I think Jason was the fourth. It was Jason. Yeah, I think Tommy John Kelly, Mike. Oh my gosh, I gotta go back and watch it. Oh, that's yeah. I'm like fried.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was me and David, and yeah.
That is awesome. So, some things going on that we know about. Gary's working on an Irrigate project, hopefully with Malden. That'll be really cool. Hopefully that gets off the ground and is running.
When's the last time you published something, Gary? I want to know that.
That's a good question.
Work journal. Had been a long time.
Yeah, so find that out when. So we're gonna keep on going with the guests, and we got a good guest, and he's on tonight too. Let me just throw that up now. So this is more on an old school realm, but I got a lot of individuals who I've talked to since we had since GaryCon virtual. I met a lot of great new people. And where did I put this? There it is. All right, so Sunday night, we'll show you that. So we got Lloyd Metcalf coming on Sunday night.
Awesome.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Yes, I subscribed to that. That was a Kickstarter for the first issue.
Yes, and there's a Kickstarter going on for the 3rd right now. So, and Anna was so kind as to pull that off of your magazine cover there, Lloyd, and put that in. I don't know how she does it still. She explained it to me, like, okay. But so Lloyd's gonna kick off some really cool new guests coming on. Now it's going to be a lot of Ostrich 1E2E talk, a lot of home game rule talk, a lot of the magazine talk, but still, I think it's going to be a good start to bringing on some guests that are brand new to the streams, and hopefully that'll lead to some other things. So we'll start doing that under announcements. Yeah, 1E discussion, 1E, 2E, old school discussion a little bit, and we'll go. We'll probably butt heads on our rule systems and things like that, but it'll be a great. It'll be something new, something exciting coming on, and we'll see. Lloyd, you're friends with Tim Kask, so maybe it's a stepping stone too there, and we'll talk about that. But I asked someone else to co-host with me, and that person wasn't comfortable doing it. So we will. And maybe just a one-on-one. I may have someone else on. We'll talk about that. But that's coming up this Sunday, guys, on the next Gabbin number 87. So looking forward to that, definitely. And another discussion we should have is Greyhawk and Living Greyhawk is coming, making a comeback, right? And we're doing a show once a month. So let's real quick hit that up while we're on it as well. Hopefully I pull the right one up. So next Wednesday, we have another Living Greyhawk episode. And we have Living Greyhawk Divers. Okay, will be the topic of discussion. We're going to have Joe Selby back. Jay Lloyd, you know him as. He was really happy. A bunch of us went on his Twitch channel, got him enough followers so he could apply for affiliate. Yes, deep dive with Joe, Casey, and if he cannot get his buddy, is his name Britt from Korea, you're on the show with him. I think you're going to be on the show with him no matter what. So be ready to come on with him for that show. Korea is probably another day, isn't it? It's like Thursday when that goes off. So
that's like 12 hours ahead of us or something like that.
Yeah. So keep at it. I mean, it would be great to have him and to get his perspective on there. Yep. So that's 4. It's got to be. I think it's more than 14 hours ahead. It's a 12. Tim knows. Tim stayed.
Yeah, I think it's 12.
Tim lived in Korea 2 years, so he would know. So there you go.
Yeah,
but that'll be
like 12 hours ahead a week from last Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Something crazy. But that's next Wednesday, so we continue the Living Greyhawk discussion. That should be a real popular one. So there's a lot of things going on. Here was my idea. Let me. With us all stuck in our houses. 2 weeks ago, I just did a spur of the moment Saturday night special with Alan and Anna, and then Tim came on late. So I'm thinking that I'm going to do a couple more than I normally would do. Tim's is at the end of the month, but I may do one coming up shortly, and I'm going to add certain Greyhawk personalities to play in the game, and do a one shot. And just run it just like I would Hard and Holes or any other remote game, and run a Greyhawk based game and do that for a little bit. So what do you guys think about that as an idea? Yeah. Just add the content because it's Saturday night.
It's fantastic, especially if I could get involved in
it. Awesome. So I thought that you guys would like that idea, and try and get some. Trying to get some people who have not played as well in Mike's never played in one of my games, and Gary hasn't played one of my games, and Malden hasn't played in one of my games, and so we got some options out there.
I played for Carlos and Alan.
Yeah, Alan hasn't played. Yeah, Carlos and I may be arguing rules the whole time. It'd be like having Leonard Kafka on, right? So
see, now you mentioned him. You did
it. I
mentioned
Leonard.
You did it. Yep, you did it. Yep.
Leonard must be upset because he finally, after all that time, got overrun as far as the largest viewed audience
that means
ever.
that he will pop on again soon. So
he needs to come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to call some people out here to get into these all-star Greyhawk streams I'm thinking of. And I think I'll throw in some long-term subscribers as well on the show here and there because they deserve it, right? The long-term subs deserve a place in the game. So I'll add one. If I do it with 6, one of them will be a long-term sub. So
definitely.
Yep. Absolutely. So you guys like that idea? That's great. I know Jason likes the idea. Mike, you good with that idea? What are you doing on a Saturday night now? You playing in a game? There you go. Okay.
See, now you will. Yep.
Subs deserve it. They deserve it. Absolutely. The subs deserve it. So, all right. So that's on. That's an on. I am thinking a week from Saturday will be the first one. I don't think I can get it ready for this Saturday, but I think a week from Saturday, because it'll finish up the adventure I'm running on Thursday night, and then boom. So I will start pondering that over now. I want to keep myself busy, so we're looking at a week from Saturday, first one, because then it'll be a break, and then Tim's will be on the week after that, so that'll be good. So we'll have a Saturday event every other week for the time being. So I don't have to, dude. What are we doing? We're not going anywhere. I'm not allowed to leave my house until April 30th. I mean, I can't have friends over. What am I going to be doing on a Saturday night? I'm not watching Harry Potter again. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying, Casey?
Yeah,
So
we need to game. Yeah,
we need to game. We need to do
yeah,
something.
we watched Netflix twice over.
I need to do something, and this is my idea for it. So
Yeah, that Portuguese D&D commercial is only good for a few minutes.
yeah, absolutely. But,
yeah, but it's a good one though. Yeah.
Saudi is 12 hours. Okay. Took me a sec to log into Twitch, but Korea is 15, 16, and Saudi is 12. Wow. That's a lot. We got someone from watching from Saudi Arabia. That is freaking awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. And another individual who was came in over Gadcon VTT. So the C-19 has been a boon to Greyhawk projects. We I don't should I know what that means?
Well, COVID-19.
Oh, Jesus.
CV-19. Yeah.
I thought it was some kind of code word or something else like that.
No,
it has been a
it's
boon.
kind of, yeah.
It has
in
been
a way, yes. Yeah, it
It's a
will
shame to
be
say
a
that.
boon in some ways. Yeah.
Yeah. So, audience, what other suggestions do you have? Now, David Leonard gave me a suggestion right before we went online, and that was about advertising in more mediums. And the issue I have is that some of them will beat me down, like the old school D&D fart channel. I don't know if any of you belong to that, where they try to be as unpolitically correct as possible on that Facebook page. I mean, it's brutal. Not interested. Whenever I post on the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons site, no one. I get none. Sages, and Greyhawk Resources, and Earth Abides, and AD&D 1E seem to be the good ones. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lloyd, you know that one? Oh my God. Just it's a little bit overkill, and so I've tapped them out. So I can't think of other. We need to advertise in other places. I don't do Reddit. I don't know if Reddit's a place to go. No.
But there's a Greyhawk Reddit. It's slow, and there's a Ghosts of Saltmarsh Reddit.
Yeah. Oh, there is. So Lloyd.
Yeah. I've been in both of them.
Okay. So, Lloyd, save that for the discussion Sunday. That'll be a funny topic. Save that for the discussion Sunday. We'll have some fun talk on Sunday. So.
And then there's a couple of websites. Dragon's Foot has a kind of Greyhawk section, and there's Skygax's Greyhawk, and then there's Knights and Knaves Alehouse has a Greyhawk section.
Yeah,
Mostly that's Alan.
has a Greyhawk site too.
Yeah, so I am always willing to listen to. Twitter is dead for me. Mike and I'm not millennial enough, I guess.
Well, I'm on Twitter, and I
don't
use
know
it
what
occasionally, but I don't look for things. It's things that pop up in my that
No, I don't know. I don't think advertising on.
Yeah, I do enough on Twitter now. It just doesn't
Well,
do anything.
Greyhawk Online has the Twitter stuff going.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. So Twitter is. I agree on that. Twitter is boring. So I'm just looking for some ideas. Now I do a lot of boosted stuff out of my Lord Gazumba thing, and actually pay for it. I actually sent a couple ads, and they go all over the country actually, and it tracks how many hits and all. I'm just doing experiments. It's like $10.
Do you get any feedback from that? Or
I do. They give you full analytics on it too in Facebook.
Wow.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my friends used to live tweet during my games, and we used to get a lot of feedback on that. Even
Really?
Ed Green once, yeah.
Huh.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But not something we do all the time.
Yeah, I can't imagine me live tweeting during a stream in my basement with all the other stuff I'm doing. No, maybe I could have a mod to it
it's
though.
too much.
I could have a mod or something to it. Yeah, I agree, Casey, on that. We need to. Mentor would be a good guess. Frank Mentor. Isn't Frank Mentor kind of on the outs now?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
He
Frank
might come
has
back
his
in.
troubles. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes back again.
Okay.
Comes back. Yeah. Hopefully.
Then I don't know. We have Gary here. Cannon Fire. I don't know. Jay, are you linked up on Cannon Fire yet?
What, on the Discord or on the? I don't want to.
No, the web page.
I don't want to start spamming that.
Gary's the guy. Just Smedger here. That's his site.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. It's Gary's site. Yep.
That was Gary and Eric. I mean, Gary's the guy who started Grey Talk.
Yeah.
And then they went on and
I haven't been there in a while, but I need to start
So
hosting there again. So
there's Lloyd. I could talk Tim Kask into coming on. That's awesome. I bet.
that's sweet. Yeah.
So Lloyd, why don't you mention to Tim that you're going to be on Sunday night and see if you can get him to pop in and just watch a little bit, maybe participate from the audience, and we can go from there. That's a great one too. You post anything? Have you ever seen me post porn, Gary? Ever? Except when Alan talks, one of my players. I'm just kidding. So, all right, that's cool. But I'm thinking about the community as well. We got to come up with more ideas to create stuff, and I really like the idea. I know Gary, you said it should be in person first. I don't think that's feasible. I don't think that's feasible right now. I don't think it's going to be feasible through the whole entire summer to schedule
yeah,
anything. I just don't.
Exactly. We'll see when it comes back again. It will be a
think
while.
a
Yeah.
virtual Gary Con weekend is a great idea.
Yeah.
I think it is. I would just need some buy-in from a couple other streamers to help, and we could figure something out. I really do. I think it would be a good idea. I'm gonna look into it. How about that? I'm gonna look into that suggestion. Yes.
And I'd love it. I mean, but I'd like to see something where maybe I'd love to see somebody step up and do some of these seminars. Like just various things that are seminars again. I love the seminars.
Why? No, the virtual GaryCon weekend would be. We'd set it up and we do it. We do it once, man. It would be like I'm gonna try and do the special Greyhawk games now while I'm in sabbatical here once a month. Okay, unless I really get bored, who knows? But I got Saturday night specials. I have Tim coming up too, so I'm not bumping Tim.
Yeah, meaning I've been in quarantine for like 20 days now. So what happens when I've been in 60 days? Then I'll be like, oh, we need to do something. Yeah.
It doesn't matter, Casey, if it's once a month. That's the cool thing. You don't need to be an affiliate to stream. So that's another thing, And yeah, more seminars. Okay, so you guys want more seminars? How about more special event seminars? So, like, I could do a special Gab. Well, that's not far off. Gabbin number 100 is coming. We did Gabbin 50, and Mike, you were on, and Anna was on. That was a 5-hour long stream.
I was going to say, what you should do for my idea, you should have a whole Gabbin day to celebrate it.
For the 100th show, an 8-hour stream. Oh my god!
Yeah, meaning not one long stream, but you can stream for like 2 hours, then have a break for like a little bit, and then stream again.
It's a good idea.
For a couple hours, and different topics. A Gabbin day to celebrate it. Monday, when you look back at your game for the past whatever.
Okay.
Whatever other cool topics you want to
I'm
have.
just worried, like Zarathon's saying here.
Yeah.
It will drop dead.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, Jay. You need to make sure you don't burn out. But then you can cancel everything for a week afterwards. So
I know a couple video game streamers who have done like 24-hour streams.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane. I played WoW for like probably 12 hours straight before.
While we were younger back then.
Yeah, that's
stuff
true.
Like that's yeah.
All right, so we got some ideas down. That's awesome. First thing is definitely the All-Star Greyhawk game that's a definite. That's a definite. We're gonna start there. Look for it on what's that? The 11th? Yes. Look for it Saturday, April 11th in the evening, and I'll put together a good party of 6 people to play in that game. And I'll reach out to one of the subs who has not played before and get them in, and we'll have some fun on that. And we'll do something very terrifying. Like saving Michael Baton or something. Just kidding. We don't want to do that because you'll just like everyone else. Well, can we just let him die? Yeah, I'll get the same responses as my players. So cool. This has been a great one. Why don't we do some shout outs because we're almost out on time. See how fast time goes? Poof, man. Poof. Definitely. So Jason, start us off, man.
Okay. Well, let's see. Is this just like what am I up to right now? What I'm up to is just my regular daily stuff. I'm fooling around with Blackmore, the Back Loonish, revising an old novel, but it's a Greyhawk novel, The Hill Giant Chief. Just lots of little things and having a lot of fun with Cannon Fire because Gary's really been digging into it and redoing it, and He's got Cannon Fire Discord, which is rocking, and he's got the old Cannon Fire website, which I'll tell you, I tried indexing IVID back about 20 years ago, and it was just raw data. And lo and behold, I go on Cannon Fire, and they have one that is a full page-by-page module version of IVID the Undying. And if you're a Greyhawker, that is just something to go in, dig into, and grab. And I'm trying to get that re-indexed right now.
Cool.
That's me.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of stuff, man.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That index
That's
is
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah.
Anna, what do we got?
Yeah, I don't have that much that will be visible outright right away, but production of this week, I've been in Cobalt Press land for a week because I needed to go back. So I'm kind of off Greyhawk for this week, but next week I will be back again, and then the production of the Atlas 576 Atlas will commence next week. So that will start. So there will be some sample pages and some layout ideas, and I will nail down what each page should look like, what the elements and stuff. So there will be some voting and stuff for my patrons to start looking into that, and it will be open for everybody will see it. But I don't know how polls and stuff works because there might be polls for different layout examples and stuff. So that's coming up, and then I will have to dig into to finalize the first kind of layout example, an idea, or that will basically be something to discuss when it comes to the layout, the continental layout for Earth. That will be kind of the working thing in the future. So that I will start working, refine that a little bit, and then have that as a first sample, and people can discuss and say, I'm disgusted by that. I like that. That's kind of what's kind of weird thing is that, etc. So I want to kick off the discussion and get that to slowly mature, so to speak, over time, and see what that can be kind of broad consensus or people can like, so to speak, so we can move forward with that. And then I'm also starting to research the Underdark of and start digging into so I've started with Malden's little corner down there by the Yeomanry and the Hull Marshes and stuff. So I've picked up 10 or 12 other sites and stuff that I know are out there, but there's probably 200 others. So that's something. So if you have any ideas or cool places that needs to be part of the Underdark, you can either go to annabmeyer.com and use the form there and fill it in, or you can just send me an email to anna@ghmaps.net and with the ideas, or hit me up on Twitter or Facebook, and then send me the idea and say, oh, that's a location. I'm aware of a whole bunch of locations. I probably have about 30 or 40 or so listed now. So, but I'm sure there is probably 100 others that I haven't thought of. And I've added a number of natural locations too that I think are really cool, that should be there for geological or fantastic reasons and stuff. So I want to build, and so the Underdark map is probably going to be researched for the rest of the year before I really dig into it. And it will probably be the first real geographical QGIS based map, which is going to be interesting because that will open up a whole new cool range of possibilities and stuff in there. So those are the main things that I'm working on. So yeah.
And there'll always be something else. Like I said,
Oh yeah, there's always a little bit of tidbits here and there and things that I come up with. I'm also doing a revision of my symbols, and I have some symbols to add, because when I move over to use GIS and QGIS, I need to redo my symbols a bit. So I'm going to tweak them. So there will be maybe a symbol a day or a symbol a week or something that I will blow up and do more in detail. And then I also need to think about isometric versions of the symbols and stuff. So that's something that is on the more on the idea board, so to speak. So there will be concepts of that coming fairly soon, but that's probably a month or a few, but never know. I'm locked up in the house like everybody else, so there's a lot of times to work now. So yeah.
I want to say thank you, Anna, for really helping me with the banners. I know we're going to work on doing it so it's quicker, but they're so classy looking heading out. And over the weekend, I got so many compliments from people on, oh my gosh, how'd you do all that? How'd you get all your shows put on those banners? They're awesome looking. And then I said, well, Anna, I asked Anna, and she did it for me. So that was cool. I'm starting to do more of my regular shows on them too. It just makes it so much easier. It's nicer
but
to get it out there.
it's actually not that difficult. Now I have them on Photoshop templates, so I
Yeah.
just go in and change the text and save it. So it's a very quick work.
Yeah, definitely. But it really
Except
helps.
when they give crappy logos that we have to work with. So
yeah, definitely. Thanks, Anna. How about Mike?
Well, I guess now's the time we do the drawing for a copy of the unofficial Banding Kingdoms.
Oh!
I think we had one person enter.
That's funny.
Anyhow, that's my April Fool for the day.
That was nice.
And
Because you're not giving away that.
No.
Yes, just a joke.
Too late. Too late. Nope.
It's not even set up.
Anyhow, I don't know what I'm I'm doing. Just Greyhawkery. If I feel like writing something, I'll probably have it up this weekend. I did notice though today that in March I had 9 posts in the month, which is significant for me because I don't think I've had that many posts in a month for the last 5 years. So we got a lot of stuff going on, which is good.
Yeah.
Good for me.
Let me say that if you have not looked at Mike's Earth Journal article on the Sea Princes and all the detail in there, I'm stealing all that information for my campaign, man.
Me too.
I mean, my gosh, it is awesome. Just to have, because I love names of groups. I love fleet names. I love adventure party. I mean, that's just fantastic. Fits
That's
right
like
in.
all quality material.
Oh my God, yeah, it's a great article.
Yep.
There's a lot of great authors in this one. Definitely was fantastic. So what a great one again. Thank you all. Tomorrow night we started it with, we go back to Greyhawk City with the adventuring party Iron Fury. They are a feeder group for the legendary Iron Brigade. They're very low ranked in the Mercenary Guild rankings of Greyhawk. And they're going to be hanging out at their favorite bar, the Noble Pawn. And it'll be a lot of pre-RP. It'll be open. Jay doesn't do this that much. Open, world RP where things go out different directions. But in will eventually come a mercenary group, a new mercenary group formed by the legendary Jandazur herself, the war heroine who is a priestess of Tritarian, the Spears of Jandazur. Well, you can imagine that the Spears are they don't wait around. They want things done quickly, and no one's going to get in their way, and we'll see where that leads. So that's a little okay. By the name, you may understand what's going to happen. So Iron Fury Rescue in the Cairn Hills Part 1 tomorrow night. It is a Reaper giveaway night. So I will be doing it. The drawing will be set up for all you people who like typing !drawing. Reaper Miniatures, one of my sponsors, will be giving away. I know we're doing a pack of kobolds and another Dwarven Pounder for the giveaway. That's like 7 figures. So it'll be a nice giveaway tomorrow night. So just hop on and say hello. Hey man, it's 4 hours of streaming of game. Just hang with as much as you can, but enjoy that. And then once again, Lloyd Metcalf was on Sunday night, and I really look forward to that discussion. That's going to be a fun time. Talking old school with someone else is just always refreshing for me. I know you've gone to 5e, Jason, but isn't old school refreshing?
Oh, it is. I mean, I'm a 1e person. 5e's a kind of necessity. I do like the combat system with 5e, but I steal, from anywhere. So my 1e is like yours in a sense. It's very homebrew.
Oh yeah, it has to be. And my 1E2E's evolved into something completely. It's mine. You know what I mean? It's evolved into where Carlos says it's not 1E, and I said, well, it is. It's my 1E.
It's
right?
almost like your personal third edition.
Yeah, because I use feet. Feats are merged into my
you
proficiency
have
system.
taken concept further than they did in first and second edition. So
definitely. So one last thing, someone told me, I love your YouTube mirror, but it's a mess. So I spent today when I should have been doing my real job, So hopefully none of my, and I put a playlist up. Every Gabbin in order from reverse order is in playlist 1. Every Legends of Lore that we've done is in playlist 2. They're all in order, guys, now, all the way down. I think I go all the way to 17 and Gabbin, all the way from 17 to 80, 86. And all Legends of Lore that we've done from 30 to this one shortly will all be in the playlists. Okay? So, yes. So the playlists are organized. The adventuring games, I may do a playlist for conventions or special seminars, but I'm not doing a playlist for the games. They're all, you can find them in the regular listing, but the actual talk shows are set, and they're in there now too, and the mirror. So if that's it, look at that, 10:05. So. Yeah. What a nice Legends Lore. I know, guys, it's had more of a Gabbin feel to it, but hey, we're coming off GaryCon VTT. Maybe not. I don't know. We're all over the place. Who cares? It was a good one. Living Greyhawk next week. So we got a lot of content coming up. So you figure this, Jason. You got all the streams set from now till next Saturday night, right? You should know all. We got like 6 more streams coming up, so it'll be cool. All right, we'll see you all. Tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. All my guys will be remote. Jay will probably hit the wrong button here.
Yeah, right button. Bye, everyone.
See you guys. I hit the right button. Yay. Oh my God, I got the wrong map up there though. Watch this. I'm gonna change it on the fly.
Uh-oh.
I probably will crash everything. See, I made one minor mistake. Look at that.
You need to have one with less buttons on. There's too many on your stream deck there.
So. Another one in the books. Another one in the books.
That was surprisingly fun.
That was surprisingly what?
That was fun.
Of course it's fun, Jason.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We got to talk some future Greyhawk stuff. We got to talk some really cool things. So I'm gonna have a full crowd. I don't think Tim's playing tomorrow night, but I got all the Thursday night regulars are gonna be on tomorrow night, so I'm gonna have a full crowd. So yes, one wrong button. I always hit the wrong button at least once. So. Yeah, I'd rather talk about Vecna any day, Josh, other than Thrommel the Vampire. So keep that talk going, man. That's good. Thank you, Kitano. Thank you so very much. I'm gonna hit this up. See you guys tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern.